Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on? We got a lot of work to do. We're gonna be breaking down some of that CPI data and everything else. But give me a bit. The market's gonna open up in like 3 minutes, and you can see we're already starting off on the right note. We're positive. So don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Share it to your friends and family. That way they know I bring some valuable information to the market. So thank you for your participation, and I want to see if a shout out to Mr. Martin Castro. He actually went ahead and subscribed, and I got I think this is probably a little bit of a troll, but you never know. Pete Demo, I want to say thank you for your subscription as well, and go ahead, share it to your friends and family. All right. First thing I want to give y'all is this. Let's get this out of my way. So we got ourselves. Oops. Did I get? Yeah, I got the wrong chart up. Hold on. Let me switch that up for y'all, because that is my other one, and I want my 8 grid. I thought I put that on there. There we go. 8 grid is right there. All right. So we got ourselves U.S. oil, right? This thing is starting to give a little bit of a bounce off that CPI data. This is my gold. Let me get rid of the noise here for y'all. And we got this whole entire gold setup that's happening here, which is adding some question marks. Actually, I gotta add that over there. Let's add that there. All right. So we got ourselves where it's trying to push up to the upside, but it looks like everybody's putting money into the rest of the market. We got silver. Silver is not rallying. Always keep an eye on that. This is the British pound, right? The British pound. If this was going to dump, that means this should have dumped relatively well, but we're getting a rise on the British pound, so that means it's going to really put pressure on the US dollar, which I'm going to explain soon. Bitcoin rallied. We got to that 107 and we kind of pushed right back up. So shout out to everyone that's probably rocking some Bitcoin. You should be relatively happy, as it looks like this base looks like it wants to hold what looked like an M pattern. The Russell is still rallying. I think people are getting into the domestics. And then last but not least is your US dollar. And we are still kind of in this jambalaya, right? So we're going to see what the market has for us at 9:30. So we got like less than a minute until this kind of gets cranking on. If you don't know how I do things in trading, this is going to be a get rich or fit trying and BYTTT mashup a bit. But we're going to be doing open and range. So let me go check out with my team, and we're going to get back with you. All right. All right, looks like we're getting a nice little pullback. Ignore the alerts that's popping through. This is just letting me know what's going on in the market based on some of the parameters that I have set. Let's get this out the way. Wow, that was a little bit of a rejection, but we are at all-time highs, and we did get to 25,500. Let's go look at ES for my SPY folks. Yep, we almost got to 6,900. I thought, and shout out to Trade Hero folks. If y'all went ahead and checked out the gamma levels, you would have been alerted on what is cracking on that side. All right. Oh, what up? Good morning, Giant. Yeah, let's get this money. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm trying to knock it out right now. So we're seeing what's happening with the market. I'm trying to give it a little breather because, that pop up from CPI, I was like, ooh, that thing was vicious. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look at that. We still chucking. Look at that. Trying to get more to that downside. Okay, okay. Let's see something. So here's my thoughts, right? We could be put in a fair value gap. That's what could happen. But remember what I said yesterday on charting class? Gap fair value gap builder. You see it, right? So now we got this explosive move. If this is a full candle, it tells me that this area is probably where they would love to reload, but they reloaded enough and we may never come back to it. We probably there's probably a runaway. We might just go to like 26,000 on NQ. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how insane this looks like. Let me do it like this. Let me do a nice little magic trick for y'all. Let me put this up. Where is it? Not that one. Oh, there it is. This is from October 17th level. Bow! That thing blast off. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. So just keep that in mind, alright? Alright, let's get this out the way. Alright, let's go check out on some of the alerts that probably is coming through. Let's talk about some trades. IWM folks, if you're into IWM, I think you should check out some of their options over there, especially with this gap up. We're probably going to be dealing with a nice little push, but it's so parabolic. Let me see if there are any targets. Maybe to 250 and then the highs of maybe 251. So wait for a pullback. If it builds a solid base that you can be comfortable with, you could get a nice little push into maybe 260. So look out for 260 calls on IWM. Let's go over to some swing trades. What we got over here on swing trades? Let's recap some of these. Oh, Alcoa. Let's talk about Alcoa. This one right here, they were really trying to push this bad boy up, and I was looking for this thing to kind of come up as well. Based on the 2 hour, you could have seen that we had a nice little solid base here, but knowing that CPI, hold on, let me turn my magnets back on. Let me get this right. Knowing that CPI data was coming in, it was going to be really, really tricky trying to hold Alcoa, but you can kind of see it built a base and it popped up, and because of the news, they shut this down. Then NQ just did something crazy. So I would say, if anything, it's still an okay of a trade, but it needs to get back above $40.86. So if you're looking for something, maybe $40 or $50 calls on Alcoa, and wait for it to break above $40.86. That's probably going to be the game. So just keep that one in mind. What else I got here? Yeah, we just drifted yesterday, so let's see what's going on today. So Bloom Energy, if you don't know this one, I think they in uranium. This thing has been going crazy for quite a while here, but coming over to the 2 hour chart, yeah, they're recovering that NQ real fast. You see that giant? That thing is moving. Oh, okay. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat. You're not missing much, because I was about to short it and it looks like it's that. Let's just wait for the opening range. So looks like Bloom Energy was trying to kind of come down to this downside, but again, it's been bullish. So they liquidated all the bears that stepped in. So this was probably a solid pullback on that move. So now that they liquidated the bears, wait for a nice little entry, but earnings is coming up on October 28th, so maybe go somewhere farther out just to kind of weather the earnings volatility, or wait for after earnings. But I could see this is already breaking this downtrend. It's getting there. So if it breaks through here, you probably could get away with something along the lines. Of course, it's not finished yet, but let's just say it breaks above this level about right here. Then you could be looking for like 115, maybe 125, somewhere around there. That's going to be your take profit, but it needs to hold this 100 level. It can't come back down here. So I think they kind of swept it for the $100 level, so just keep that in mind. Trade will be done if it gets back under 100, but a nice little close above 115, maybe even 110 with a break of here, we could just sweep all this liquidity. They're going to come right for that pivot right there. Nasty work. Nasty work. All right, have y'all been looking at some leap plays? What about you, Giant? Have you been looking at some leaps?
No, not recently. I haven't.
Not recently. Okay, let's see if we can find something on the leap side. Let's find
But
something.
I'm in that Levi place with the guys.
Okay. How's that working out with you?
It was green when I looked at it like an hour ago. I think it should be up a little bit.
Okay, nice. All right, let's pick one. Ooh, GME came through. Alta came through. MU came through. Let's look at Alta. Shout out to the girls. I know y'all like y'all makeup. So if you don't have some money in Alta, then you're basically doing yourself a disservice. You're already paying for the makeup. You might as well make some money on the back end in the stocks. I'm just letting you know that right now. If you don't know who they are, they're the ones that has Alta Beauty. I want to say Rihanna has her stuff inside of there. So if you have any of those Fenty stuff, you want to kind of check out Alta. But yeah, this thing has been a powerhouse ever since this move in June. It's been up here for just over 400 bucks. For long-term leaps, it came back and retested the 50 already, so it might be a little tricky. But if you were being very confident, maybe aim for like a 650, maybe even a 600, depending on what your pockets look like. I would look for some like 2026, end of 2026, $600 calls, and then just slowly average in. But again, this is already on an uptrend. It kind of ran away, so you want to kind of look at it like this. How much time I have? I have 7 minutes. Okay, cool. And right now we're breaking this, so they're looking for supporters. So if this thing can catch support with this 50 EMA, look out for some leaps taking over that 559, testing that 573, and then it just continues to this upside, and this will be your new pivot. I don't think we're going to get back down to this 200 moving average, but that could be another spot to buy some more and then buy some more here. That way you have like 3 contracts on the average, give or take, and then you just attacking for that 600. Because I do think when they come to this gap, it's probably going to try to hold its base. So just depend on how your leverage is and how your cash is. Just be smart about it, and you should be fine. We are looking to break this micro downtrend that is putting pressure on a major uptrend. All right. Okay, let's get back over to NQ. Let me see if I can see and grab a scalp, because it looked like we're still kind of like pushing up. Yeah, man, look at that giant. Oh my God, this thing could go to 26,000. And I was about to take calls last night, and I said, nah, you know what? Let me not take the calls. And then I just felt like the market was kind of propped up. And then I heard CPI was coming in, and I was like, wait, I thought CPI was going to be at a different time. And it was like, nah, it's tomorrow. I was like, oh, thank God I didn't get it, because it could have been another way, right? It could have just rejected over here. But so far with this first 15 minutes, look at what we're doing. We're talking about like this. Our stranger danger is going to be sitting where? Right there, basically under 500. So if the 25,500 acts as support, we're probably going to continue to push up. I think that's the game they're looking to do.
Okay.
Man, I gotta check on. Hold on, let me mute real quick. Alrighty, alrighty. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I opened the Zoom of, yeah, I want to say I opened Get Rich or Fit trying for y'all, right? I'm pretty sure I did. I got somebody that says he can't get in. And I know I kept the same Zoom, but I just changed my online. Let me just double check. Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta click the link. Same link. Same link. If you want to be part of my inner group, we kind of talk and we on Zoom, and some things I kind of cut off because this show ends at 10 to 10:15. Just shoot me a DM. Let me know that you're interested. It's on Instagram, JD underscore the great, or Discord, JD underscore the great. I'm very humble. I think very lightly about myself. All right, let's see what we can find. So we got ourselves 3 minutes left. So if you haven't been on this show before, I look for the opening range breakout. It's a very simple strategy. We just want the first 15 minutes of the market to set the day's range. And then after we're done, we just slide right on over to the 5 minute. and wait for the first 5 minutes to close. Now, it's a very simple, basic strategy, but it does not guarantee that all results will be the same. So you still have to have some due diligence and some training to a certain degree. But for the most part, it should give you the biggest why on entering the market and get you to kind of find some good setups. So if you like EMA crossovers and it happens right after the close, run your EMA crossover strategy the same way, but you should get some momentum because we close at the top or we close at the bottom. So we'll be bullish at the top, bearish at the bottom, and we got 3 minutes before we go switch to the 5-minute chart. I almost want to scalp this because this thing is doing some very, very janky stuff right now to kind of play outside the range, but I'm going to be patient and wait. That way I don't do nothing reckless. Yeah, this thing, they're trying, you could see that this is a fist fight for that 500 level. If that 500 level breaks, then the bulls will be like, okay, here's all these stop losses. But the bears are like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start selling right here, locking in some profits. They probably just only played CPI. So, you know, we're kind of toppy. And plus, I'm a big fan of buy the rumor, sell the news. And the news is already announcing, hey, guess what? The Dow has bounced 200 points. And I'm finding that very annoyingly disturbing. They might be setting some people up. Please, 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 please use your stop losses and be judicious on the trades that you pick. Because just because you see a green candle doesn't mean the next one's going to be green. Okay? Look at that. They're getting under the 500 now. That's why I was going to scalp too. I was going to just keep hitting the top, bringing it back down. But trading is 90% waiting. No, actually, I take that back. 90% execution, but 10% waiting. It's just that the waiting takes time. It feels like it's 90%. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting. No, you got to be patient. You got to wait. That's part of it. Let them come to you, come to your entry. But 90% is executing when the opportunity presents itself, because that door might slam.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was trying to find my that's like the fib you have on, but you just have it different.
Yeah. So I didn't do nothing spectacular. I just took a fib. I got the zero line at red. I got the stranger. 50% is the stranger danger. It's right in the middle. Acts like a magnet. Acts like a repel. And then I got the the level 1, because these are normally gray. So I just changed the color to them, and I'm like, all right, if it breaks out of here, it breaks out of there. I find this much easier than some of those indicators, because sometimes that math calculation, they're slightly off, and I'm very specific in my trades. Oh, look at that bounce. They just swept a lot of buy-side liquidity right there, and then all our alerts just went crazy. All right, folks, I think we got ourselves some opportunities. Right now, I am not on options because Fridays are usually my rougher days, so I'm sticking on futures. Let's go look at what is happening in the system. All right, so the first thing I have is tickers. We got Microsoft and NVIDIA. They're pushing up, so let's go check out Microsoft first. Microsoft, nice little push up. These are your levels right here. Bang and bang. All right, so we're looking for an entry. So wait 15 minutes, right? That's the goal. Yes, can it run away to take profit one? Absolutely. But the goal is wait for 5 minutes, let it close above 524, play it until it gets to 527. I would say try to get a contract that's like 530, 527, and that's probably going to be solid. Let's do this fast because I got a lot to cover. NVIDIA, this one right here just did a nice little massive push up as well. And again, make sure you find an entry. This thing can pull back. All right, so entry above 185, get a 190 to 187 contract. That would be probably choice, and that should go ahead and print for y'all. What else do I have? I have QQQ. QQQ is saying, all right, it's asking for our suggested entry somewhere around 617.32, but I think I'm going to go a little bit higher. Let's go with, oh, actually, it's a little lower. 617. Come on, get out my way. 25. I think I saw it say. Oh, there we go. 617.25. It's so close to the entry right now. It's messing with me. So 617.25 on Qs. We're looking for us to get to like 622 or between 622 and 619. And then SPY just triggered as well. Everything's going off. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up. Jeez. All right. And then we got ourselves SPY. This one is 677. This was the last one we talked about on the last Get Rich or Fit Trying. That one printed out. But 677.50. Then we could go ahead and attack 680. IWM came back with another fill and entry. So we still in the original, and then they just added another one. Oh, this thing is doing something very interesting. IWM. This one will be an entry based on the. Oh, I see what happened. They're gonna try to take out this high. Still, be careful with IWM. I still think it's more toppy, and that's why I said wait for your entries. Solid entry above 250, psychological 250. That's what you're trying to get to 253. And then what I got a couple of swing trades that came in, or is that my imagination? No, Tesla. Oh, wait a minute. It's asking for Tesla puts. Ooh. All right, look out for Tesla puts. I think they want to sweep this liquidity here, and that's probably going to break the market all the way down. Be careful with those Qs, SPYs, and everything else. This might be your catalyst. If Tesla doesn't bounce from here, you might have some trickiness on the market for those those tickers I just told y'all about. So sometimes instruments like this drives the market. Sometimes it's Microsoft, sometimes Nvidia, but Tesla's over here fighting with it. All right, let's get back over to NQ. I gotta find myself a trade. Let's get back here. So nice little rejection off that area because we wanted a 5-minute close above, and they said no, we're not going to give you that. Look for a bounce somewhere around stranger danger, which is what I'm going to be aiming for. If it gives me a reversal at 2480, I'm probably going to take it right back up. All right, here we go. We're at 2480. Can it bounce, or is it going to fall right through? Will do or mildew? What we doing? And if you don't know how to take a trade, when I get towards the end of this video, I'm going to break down how I get some of my entries in its granular form, so that way y'all can get a little bit of insight. If you don't know, I'm a scalper by heart, by trade, and that's my primary goal. So I trade as low as the 1 minute, but my philosophies extend to all time frames, and I'll break it down for y'all, I promise you. All right, so stick to the end, and I got you. All right, who we got? What up, Lee? Did you take some of this downside?
No, sir, I did not.
It looks like chaos, don't it?
I'm staying within my rules.
Stay. Okay. Oh, wait. You're talking about the new rules we were talking about from. Okay.
We want to stay within that.
Yes. That way you can get those practice. Did you write them down though? Remember, always put pen to pad.
No, I didn't write them down. Still working on it. I will have it written down by this weekend.
You remember my pyramid, right? Okay. Let me go find it real quick. Hold on. There's a reason why I say, sorry, YouTube, you're gonna have to give me a second. Let me make sure I break this down for them. You have to read, and maybe I post something on this side. Let me let YouTube see this too. Let me just do that. All right. If it's a lecture, you're going to retain half of it. If it's a reading, you're just reading a book, 10%. Audio and visual, now it kind of deep thought goes even further in you. That's 20%. 30% is demonstrating. That means someone's doing it for you. Passive learning. But when it comes down to here, group discussion, it's active. Now you're thinking. Practice by doing it. That's where it comes. So practice by doing it has an aspect of writing it down, because group discussions, one person might be talking and might be interrupting you, so you gotta remember what you have. So this is why writing is so important to me. Gotta write it. But teaching others, this is why I learn so much from y'all whenever I do these shows and classes and everything. It actually helps me. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching y'all. Yeah. So that's the pyramid of learning. Gotta do the work.
You gonna take this bounce?
I was looking for that reversal. I think so, because Google just came in on my signal saying they want to take to the bounce on the upside too. Ooh, man. I think I should have had hit it about 15 seconds ago. I don't think it's ready. Yeah, I should did it 15 seconds ago. Here's our oscillators. We're still kind of down on the oscillators. They're putting major pressure. If we come over to the 15-minute, you have a little bit of an issue over in this side because this is a crossover. But if you come over to the 2 hour, we have been doing something crazy because we just crossed over the zero line here. Come on, stochastic. But we're pinned. So this does not mean we're going to stop, right? So since the 2 hour is like this, it makes me think that we're going to continue. We're just waiting for this to reset on the 5-minute, and we're close to the bottom of that stochastic. Actually, I might take this one. Let's take this one. Let's see what happens here. Let's take a scalp real quick. All right. Get a little bit of a pop here. Oof. They slammed it. I'm going to make my stop tight. I'm going to risk probably about 150, 200. Let's see if we can hold that. Hold your water. Can we get there? Come on, baby. That make me want to put my stop loss into profit. Keep playing around. Come on. Come on, build your base. Build your base, stranger danger. Come on. All right, that looks solid. Come on, baby. They keep hitting me. Come on, baby.
Yeah, that took my shit out of there.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you. Yeah, there we go. They just hit me for the 150. I'm in there with you. So I was up like 200, 250, but I was like, I think I could get more if this thing could break, but that's not a clean bounce like I normally like. If it can get back above 492, I'm going back up. If it goes back under 480 again, I might just short this thing. All right, it's giving me that first part. See if we can confirm. Because you got to wait for confirmation, folks. Because it was a fight. Yeah, we're going to try to short it here. Let's see what happens. Oof. They are really beating it up. Gonna risk, oof. Yeah, they beat that up. All right, let me just take that. Got hit with $300. It's like a fist fight now. And that's why I would like the opening range more so than actually trying to take this here. But now we're ranging inside. So let's go ahead and look at the 1 minute. Let's see if we can find a better spot here. So it looks like we're kind of consolidating this inside of here, right? Kind of like this type of junk. And they're trying to break back through the junk, and it's failing to break back through the junk. That's why I was like, I'm going to take it as we're wrapping below it. It showed me small profit for like 2 seconds, but then they snatched it right back. That's okay. That's the game. That's how it goes. That's what I wanted to do the first time. Why didn't you break out? Right. Yeah. That's what I was planning on. Yeah, I think what they did, they reloaded inside of here. Let's see if they can really hold that. Let's come up to a higher time frame. Let's go to a 5 minute. Got a bit of a doji right here. Maybe if it recaptures this, maybe we'll go back up. But again, like I said, this is still pointing down. That's what makes this tricky. I would love for my entry time frame to reset its oscillators because right now it's like kind of heated, making me kind of pause a bit. But it is tempting. Looking at the level of, yeah, I said it was tempting, right? 492 as the bounce, especially with the fact that Google just went ahead and triggered an alert for a buy. That's what made me want to kind of do this. All right, we're getting a little bit of a pullback here, trying to get to that 500. I knew you was going to do some crap like that. I guess I should have held on to it a little bit longer. All right, that's fine. Down 500. Yeah, small fries. Small fries. Let's see what they do with the 500 level. Maybe we could aim for the opening range. Maybe we'll get a 5 minute close above and we continue from there. Coming back over to the daily, As of today, this is what I'm looking at as a level of support, something like that, as of 9:57 a.m. That's what I'm looking at as my level, that if we break 375, it'll probably piss off a lot of bulls, and then they're probably gonna dump down. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on, just in case. All right, let's get back over here. Do I see any patterns forming? Nope. Nothing that's warranted. Let's come back over to the 5-minute. See if we can find anything. And you can see that premium zone is really, oof, you see what I mean? That's why I was like, that 500 psychological level, I felt like we could have did something very silly and stupid like that. Yeah, wait for the range. It's probably gonna be best. Sit in your hands. Let's see if they recap. They're trying to recap on top of that block. Let's run through those tickers one more time. I want to see what they're doing after I just said those have signaled. Let's start with Google because I haven't mapped that out. If you're looking to get into Google, Google, it needs to hold its level. It needs to hold the level of 260. And then it'll continue to the upside. But we got ourselves another minute or so. So it looks like it's about to hold. What I had, NVIDIA. Get out the way. Tesla. Let me look at Tesla. Is Tesla bouncing? Because if Tesla's bouncing, nope, Tesla's not bouncing. NVIDIA. Not bouncing. And then Microsoft. That thing looks like it don't want to bounce. Actually, it pulled back quite a bit. So I would say, if anything, Google's probably powering this move to the upside while Tesla is dumping. Maybe they're taking their money out of Tesla and Microsoft and NVIDIA and pouring it into Google to get this to power up to the upside. So plan accordingly and be fine. All right. The folks at YouTube, we about to get a new 1-hour candle, so it's going to get real tricky around here. Just waiting patiently. We're probably gonna go ahead and get a nice little stab here. All right, we got ourselves 11 seconds. Does everybody just take their profits right at 10 o'clock, or do we just go ahead and cascade all the way to the upside, waiting for a 5-minute close above, so that way we can go ahead and take that to the upside? That's what I'm looking for. All right, new 5-minute candle kicked in. Ooh. Don't tempt me with a good time. Looks like we established some neutrality here. We just bounce back and forth. Hence the reason why I lost some money. It's just choppy. All right, so we got ourselves a nice little order block that's being built here. Kind of following your philosophy, Lee. Looking for that top side of here or that downside of here. And if whichever it goes, it goes. And we'll take it. Maybe I should go down to my Robinhood. I got like $200 in my Robinhood I could play with just to toy around. Which one's logged in? Nope, not that one. Let's see, this one. Eli Lilly, another one that just popped up. Let me get my Robinhood going, and then I'll pull up Eli Lilly. Look like we're breaking out. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait. I might get an entry here. 1334. That's how much time left on this candle. Let's go to the 5-minute. Kind of stair-stepping along. right, getting ready for 5 minute move up. The sky is the limit. That 499 500 level is going to be the playground. I'm telling y'all that right now. That thing comes back to it, they're gonna just go back and forth on that thing. This thing better break out here or we're not gonna trend. But it is Friday. Be smart, folks. Be smart. Yeah, these contracts are even juice. I got $200. I don't want to play with just one contract. Oof, look at that rejection. Oh man, right at. Oh, it didn't get it. It didn't get to it. It barely touched it. Look at that rejection. That's why you can't just get in early. Don't anticipate the market. Get signaled by the market. If it gave me a close above on the 5 minute, we'll be in it all day. We'll be in all day, but not like this. That's sweeping. That's how you lose money. Just look at this 15 minutes still up there. That 2 hours going to still be up there. Let me see what the 1 minute is doing. Just overheated on the 1 minute. Probably pulling it back for like 2 seconds so they can just take it back up again. Grabbing some buy side liquidity so they can sweep some sell side liquidity. Patience. That's what y'all need, folks. It's just patience. Right now we got this little micro trend that's happening on this 1 minute like this. Not saying this is the trade that you want to take, but this is what the market's responding to. We're going to get a trade. We're going to get a good one, too. We're going to get a good one. UNH. So healthcare is being there. If you don't know much about healthcare, we're about to go into open enrollment. So these things are going to be real sexy for a little bit. So Eli Lilly is one of them. Oh, look at that. You remember that experiment that we was doing, Giant? Look at that. That would have been the entry right there before it even happened, right? Let's see. That's our entry, 825. It's already running. Let's look at UNH. Same, already running. You can tell I've been trading quite a bit of UNH. So it looks like we had a nice little push to the upside. Kind of started from back here. And that was on Thursday at 12. Pulled back. And then now we got that explosion just hit the TP. Ooh, NQ still sweeping. Oh, let's get back. Let's get back. Damn, that was a massive rejection. Let me come on to the 1 minute so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look at that. They were pushing it up. Put in perspective for those that don't trade futures. This thing went up 84 ticks. At 50 cents per tick, let's call it $42. But sometimes we play as much as $5 a tick with NQ. And that would be $420. So it went up 420 and back down 420. That's how fast it happened. Just a little perspective. All right, all right. Here it goes, here it goes. And make it like this very, very crazy tiny little W here that's going to get destroyed because that's only in the seconds. I'm starting to realize the range that we're on. So let's talk about the range. Remember how we talked about range, Giant? Okay, give me a second. So we're kind of like building something that looks a little like this. Actually, you know what? I want to make it tighter. Got our anomalies like this and our extensions right there like that. So if this one fails to make a new higher high because they're going to sweep the levels, let's come back to the 1 minute. If it gets back into the zone, we might come right crashing through all of this. And my fingers on the trigger just in case. All right, we just made new highs. So yep. And then now they just, and that's how they sweep sell side liquidity. So they wedge the price. We wedge it, hit that. There's some more sell orders here. That's roughly around the 550 level. That 550 level. Oh, actually, so this is the first time we're touching it. So the 550 level is our rejection. People that take profits, they're part of the sellers. People that are sitting on the sidelines like me right now, I don't have no trades open. I would be selling because of that psychological level. It filled it, bang, dropped down. And remember I said about that 84 ticks? Now that rejection, that was 84 ticks. That's 420 right there. So all of it is just perspective. If you want to learn how to do all of that, again, like I said, all my information is locked in down below. Just go ahead and DM me at JD underscore the great. And I got ya. I got ya. Woo. They're going to try to recap it though, because they want that 5 minute to close above. We got 2 minutes to 34 seconds. I'm going to wait for the 5 minute to close above first. I'm not going to chase it. Do not chase the cat. The cat scratched back. All right, YouTube. I got 7. Oh, go ahead. What you said, Giant?
I got to go behind it. I don't be able to scratch.
I feel you. I feel you. For those in the YouTube sphere, y'all got 7 more minutes before I get out of here. If you got any tickers or anything. Oh, my chat is disabled? What's going on? Oh, my bad. I didn't even realize that. Look at that. I had messages in the chat and it wasn't going through. My bad. We got Mike Millie. Shout out to Mike Millie. And then got Rod up in there. Sorry, Rod. I'm not talking about gold right now. Yeah, I didn't even realize. I gotta get this thing where it does the pop-up chat on the screen. I need to figure that out. There's a way of getting this software to do that. All right. Look at that rejection. They're saying, no, we're not going to let you get the 5 minute close above. Come on, baby. What you about to do? Will do or mildew? It's a little overheated to this downside. That's why I don't want to short it. But it is back in my range. Normally, I would short it right on down from right here. Let me see what that 1 minute looks like. Oh yeah, if it comes back inside of here, I think I might short it. All right, let's see if the 5 minute gives it a close. We we do. We have a 5 minute close above. Let's see if we could get a nice little capture of all that upside. Let's see if it continues. Watch out for traps, folks. Watch out for traps. Taking their sweet time here. They really are taking their sweet time. So, I mean, that selling pressure might be serious here. Come on, get that sell side liquidity. Get all of it. Tell the sellers that it's nice here. And sweep them. This is the part of trading that can be annoying. Where you got to be patient with the trade that you got into. But I got a plan. I'm going to execute the plan. They pulled it right back inside. They might try to sweep back inside the range. Don't you dare. Come on, baby. Give me a good solid bounce. Don't do what I think you can do, because I know we're at all-time highs. Don't be a jerk about it. Oh, wow. That was vicious. Yeah, that's what happens. The market when it does that crap. They're probably going to come right back to this range. I hate when it's all-time highs. Look what it did. Hey, come on. The water's nice. We got you. Sweep buy-side liquidity. Got to wait for this range here. No, I'm not going to look at it in long terms right now. Let's see where I'm at. They're being tough right now. That was a $400 hit, so now I'm down $900. That's why I spend Fridays on evals, Giant. I'm telling you this right now. You mess around and lose your PA with Fridays.
Yeah, Fridays are terrible.
The volume dies off. Look at this. We're just right back inside of a range after we just closed above. Look at this. And then now it's going to try to close above again. Oh, don't tell me you're going to sweep now. I've toyed with the idea. It is. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, Mike. I'm telling you, this because all your simple rules just don't get followed. So then sometimes I just go to smaller time frames and be like, all right, let me just take a piece here, take a piece here. Because it showed me profit for like a smidge for like 35, $40. And then, I got to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just give up on it. But, hey, that's the game. That's the game. I'm going to start calling Fridays eval Fridays. I think that's what we're going to call it. We'll practice some techniques, get it together, and let the chips fall where they may. We got another 5-minute candle that wants to close above here. I'm leaning that we're not going to close above. But we got 30 seconds on this candle. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm trying to see if I can ride and try to wheel it up.
Yeah, in a few, we're going to get a 15-minute close. I want to go back up now based on this parameter because it's like we're going to get another close above. All right, cool. And then let's run then, 9 seconds. Trying to locate an entry right now, but things are a little heated, especially on this 1 minute. Here's the 1 minute. It is toying.
Come on.
Yeah, it's being really, really tough right now. Looking for a reversal from here, making a higher low. Let's see if we can get that. Let's wait for confirmation, making sure that the higher low is solidified. Come on. Got 17 seconds. They're still toying with it. Sweeping liquidity again. How far can you go? How far can you go? Can you go to the flow? Or are you going to bounce to the roof? Come on. Give me something to trade. This is all chop. Yeah, it's choppy. That's why I said be careful with these Fridays. Now, that said, I took 2 trades. Didn't get what I was looking for YouTube. I'm going to probably still trade with the folks on Zoom. Like I said, if you want to be part of the inner circle to call my diamond traders, by all means, send me a DM. And Instagram, JD_the_great. Y'all know how to find me. And that's it. I'll see y'all on tomorrow for Mindset. It's going to be a whole lot of fun as we get ourselves to reset back to 0. I appreciate every one of y'all, all my subscribers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and send it to your friends and family. That way the information on these algos works in my favor. Have a great day.